Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. So I've just landed in the UK last night. Trying to get my bearings. Feel a bit tired, a bit jet lagged. But I was going through my YouTube and I come across a video from the WBC and Mauricio Sulaiman. Mauricio Sulaiman's put out a little statement. Well, nothing defining. He's just talking about the landscape of boxing from 2023 to 2025. How Turki Al-Sheikh has come along with Stella and Riyadh season and has taken over the game. He's also kind of thanked His Excellency for putting boxing in a good place and bringing us an undisputed heavyweight champion in Alexander Usyk, and also a super fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. That'd be a second undisputed champion in Terence Crawford. Also, we had Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol being the undisputed champion at light heavyweight now. So, you know, he's brought a lot in boxing at the moment. But the thing is, Mauricio Sulaiman seems to be squirming at the moment because you can see the incoming force, the magnitude of this incoming force from TKO Boxing and Dana White. And also, we've seen Eddie Hearn go toe-to-toe with Dana White in the interviews, having a go at each other, talking about a big battle they're going to be having. Eddie Hearn backing in sanctioning bodies, and Dana White saying that he will not recognise any of the sanctioning bodies. So boxing is in a bit of a, how can I say, a bit of a strange place at the moment. It's going to take the next few years to see where it's going to go, okay? So Turki Al-Sheikh seems to be working with all of these guys. And I think he's felt the reverberation of the fans that have come out and said, what's going on here, Turki? 1 minute, you look like you're putting boxing in a good place, and we're getting undisputed champions. And all of a sudden, you've let Dana White into the back door, and now Dana White is talking about bringing his own TKO belt and not recognising all of the historic sanctioning body belts. So it's a bit of confusion going on. I wish Turki would come out and really explain properly what's going on, right? He says he wants to work with everybody, but Dana White is not singing off the same hymn sheet as all the other promoters and the sanctioning bodies. So we don't know what's going to be going on here. It might be something like, I don't know, how it is in MMA. The UFC, they claim that their champions are the undisputed champions, but I can tell you right now they are not, because there are other organizations that are around in PFL. We're talking about One Championship. Also, I'm not sure, is it Bellator? I don't know if Bellator's still around anymore. It might have been taken over by the PFL. But there are other MMA organizations out there, and the UFC refuse. I tell you again, they point blank refuse to put their champions up in a cross promotion against any of the other champions in MMA. So their fighters are not the undisputed. They're the biggest corporation, the biggest outfit. Yes, they are, but it doesn't mean they have the best fighters in every single weight class. So testing times, Mauricio Sulaiman's squirming, man. He's squirming. I believe he doesn't know what's going to happen in the near future with his belt. So I think he's trying to put it out there, trying to put a bit of, content out there to remind the fans that the WBC was the second after the WBA belt to become a sanctioning body belt in the sport of boxing. And he's trying to appeal to the fans to say, look, we are the gold standard. But for me, it was the WBC's fault. They're partly the reason why boxing was in a bad way. They protected champions like Canelo Alvarez against David Benavidez for years. They protected the likes of Deontay Wilder from Dillian Whyte for years. And it kind of messed up the heavyweight division, all right? And Canelo being protected messed up the super middleweight division. So, I have no sympathy for Mauricio Sulaiman. I like to see him squirm. I like to see him in this type of position. And then, he needs to understand it was some of his choices in the past that put boxing in such a bad place. So we need to put a leash on this man, right? If you're going to allow him to be in boxing still, there needs to be a leash on him. And the promoters and the fighters need to be saying, if you ain't doing this, then we're not going to be fighting for your belt. And you can shove your sanctioning fees right up where the sun don't shine. But anyway, enough said. Do us a favor, smash the like button, hit the bell for notifications so you get all the new and latest videos.